Good day everyone! So we are the Group 1 and we're here to present to you the comprehension skills and dimensions.
So the learning objective of this lesson is to locate information that is direct and indirectly stated within a text as well as deepen the understanding of the purposes of the text. So dito natin tatalakayin yung mga iba't ibang levels of comprehensions, ano yung mga literal na meaning nito, ano yung mga nakalagay na doon directly, ano yung mga meaning doon na hindi pa nakalagay directly na kailangan mo pang intindihin lalo. Tapos sinasabi din dito na, yun nga, to deepen our understanding. Kung ano nga ba yung purpose ng text, kung ano nga ba yung meaning niya.
So, what is comprehension? The strategies are either employed to create context and extract knowledge from a text are known as comprehension skills, are very similar to thinking abilities. There are also cognitive mechanisms that can be broken down into steps and specifically taught. It refers to your capacity to understand something as well as your actual comprehension of it. Comprehension means complete understanding of writing. Usually, we read very casually and without concentration. And then, as a result, we retain a very vague idea of what we have read. And then, an exercise on comprehension compels us to read with care and concentration. It also tests our reading comprehension skills. Comprehension also gives us the passage, means the complete understanding of what is contained in it. We are required to answer certain questions at the end of the passage to show what we fully understand. Why comprehension is important? The purpose of reading is comprehension. As a result, one of the primary goals of reading comprehension instruction is to assist students in acquiring the necessary information, skills, and experiences in order to become successful and enthusiastic learners. Benefits of comprehension. Comprehension improves our reading skill and develops our understanding of text. It develops our habit of effective as it compels us to study with care and concentration, and also it develops our writing skill because it gives us a useful practice in writing. How to answer comprehension question. Number 1. Read the passage carefully a number of times until you are able to understand the theme and various ideas contained in it. Number 2. Read all passages carefully and try to understand their meaning. Number 3. Understand the sentences, phrases, words which contain the answer to the questions. Number 4. Never write anything which is not first clear in your mind. First, get the clear meaning from the context, then try to write the answer. Number 5. Try to answer the questions as far as possible in your own words. Number 6. The answers must be to the point, clear and concise. Do not beat about the bush. Number 7. Your answer must be complete in all respects. Number 8. Do not add any new ideas in your own words in answering the questions unless you are asked to do so or to comment on some points. Number 9. Explain the meaning of some specific words or phrases if you are asked. Number 10. If you are asked to make a precise or summary of the passage, just summarize it, leaving out all the unnecessary details. And lastly, number 11. The tense of the answer must be the same as the same of the question.
What is cognitive dimension? It is defined as the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding throughout thought, experience, and the senses. It is essence, the ability to perceive and react, process and understand, store and retrieve information, make decisions, and produce appropriate process. This is about discerning patterns of shared beliefs, knowledge, attitudes, and perceptions within a culture of group and the way they may affect the problem solving and decision-making processes of individuals in that group. Cognition is defined as the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding throughout thought, experience, and senses. Its essence, the ability to perceive and react, process and understand, store and retrieve informations, make decisions, and produce appropriate process. It is a term referring to the mental processes involved in gaining knowledge and comprehension. These cognitive processes include thinking, knowing, remembering, judging, and problem solving. Cognitive is a broad term that refers to mental processes involved in the acquisition of knowledge, manipulation of information, and reasoning. Cognitive functions include the domains of perception, memory, learning, attention, decision-making, and language abilities.
So what is textual dimension? The textual dimension of comprehension requires us to consider how the structures and properties of text interact with, and stimulates a reader's capacity for constructing and using meaning. One strategy that synthesizes the students to the structures and organization of prose is text mapping. Photocopied pages from the class textbook can be taped together to form a long scroll and taped to the board or the classroom wall. Using different colored markers, you can draw students' attention to important organizational features such as table of contents, pages for the first chapter, introductory pages of the first chapter with title, headings, subheadings, pages with highlighted terms, pages with graphs and chart, glossary, and index pages.
What is personal dimension? Individual personal attitude play a vital role in the reading, learning, and remembering process as researchers have confirmed. Nakukumpirma daw na malaki ang epekto ng ugali ng bawat tao sa pagbabasa, pagkatao, at pag-aalala sa proseso. Personal dimension is a developmental model of three basic dimensions of self, such as biological self, starting when an infant first feels the need for food and warmth. Nagsisimula daw maramdaman ng isang sanggol ang pangangailangan ng pagkain at init. Social self, starting when an infant begins to perceive person other than self. Social self ay nagsisimula kapag ang isang sanggol ay nagsisimulang makakita o makakilala ng mga taong maliban sa kanyang sarili. Starting when an adolescent thoughts and aspiration for the future begin to motivate thinking and behavior. Temporal self. Ito ay nagsisimula kapag ang mga saloobin at adhikain ng isang kabataan para sa hinaharap ay nagsisimulang maudyok at mag-isip at pag-uugali.
Good morning, this is Celila Gil de la Cruz from BSHM1B from Group 1. So, what is social dimension? Social dimension, it takes into account that making and using meaning is a social process. Thus, an individual comprehension is enriched by the input of the others in the classroom. The reciprocal teaching strategy is one in which the teacher initially models predicting, questioning, summarizing, and clarifying while encouraging the student to demonstrate the same reading and thinking processes. Gradually, as students become more capable of contributing to such discussion, they assume more responsibility for their own comprehension. So, social dimension takes into account that making and using meaning is a social processes. So, for example is, yun nga, nasa isang classroom kayo, kasama yung mga classmates mo, tapos nandun din yung teacher nyo. So, meron kayo, pag may binigay yung teacher nyo na isang passages or isang context, syempre magkakaroon kayo doon ng iba't ibang insights, iba't ibang paliwanag. So, dahil sa paliwanag at insights na yun, is nagkakaroon kayo ng generalizations kung paano nyo maiintindihan yon. So, for example, yun nga, yung teacher nyo, nagbigay siya ng isang context, tapos pinahula niya sa inyo, nagtanong-tanong siya, pinagbuod kayo. So, maaaring makatulong yun para mas mapataas yung comprehension ng isang estudyante or nating mga tao.
What are the importance of literary level it is important to understand that when we first learn something that are brand new to us, all we possibly could have is a literal comprehension of the information. In other words, at this level, we may only be able to memorize important information. We may not even be able to explain the new information in our own words to ourselves or others because of it being such new information at that moment. The more we experience the new information in a various ways. However, the more and the deeper we understand the information and the more we can do with it and move into the other levels of comprehension. Also, sometimes we may want to purposely just memorize information literally because we know it will be needed, and so we may purposely want to experience the literal level of understanding to memorize the information. Here are the information of literal level. First is identifying a statement or sentence that best indicates the main idea of the selection. Second is identifying directly stated facts. The third is identifying details such as keywords, phrases, or sentences that explicitly state important information. And the last one is identifying directly stated opinions. Okay, what is literal level of reading? Literal comprehension is the understanding of information and facts directly stated in the text. It recognizes the first and most basic level of comprehension in reading, such as keywords are the contents, words that carry the most meaning in the text. Students can underline or highlight in the keywords. Second is skimming. Skimming, quickly reading through a text to get the main idea. Students can skim read by looking at the headings and subheadings, pictures, diagrams, captions, any or bold words, and the first and the last paragraphs of the text. Scanning, you can reading to locate particular elements or specific details in the text, such as key concept, names, dates, or certain information in answer to a question. Students can scan by looking through the text to locate keywords to find the specific information quickly.
Interpretative level of comprehension. At the interpretative level, students are able to read beyond the literal words or on the page and find understanding. They use an important skill called inferring. When students infer, they go beyond the text to find meaning. The interpretive level of reading. Interpretive level involves reading between lines of making inference. Critical level involves evaluating or reading materials. Creative level involves formulating, rethinking ideas. The 5 levels of reading comprehension. Levels of comprehensions. Objectives, direction, objectives, important, objective, literal, inferential. The 3 main types of reading comprehension strategies. There are 3 different styles of reading academic text: skimming, scanning, and in-depth reading. Each is used for a specific purpose. The 7 comprehension interpretative strategies. To improve students' reading comprehension, teachers should introduce the 7 cognitive strategies of effect readers: activating, inference, monitoring, clarifying, questioning, searching, selecting, summarizing, and visualizing, organizing. How to improve interpretative comprehension? They have them read aloud, provide books at the right level, read to build fluency, talk the teacher, supplement their class reading, talk about their reading.
So, what is the critical level? Student to learn, evaluate, and judge the information. So, when you form your own opinion and judgment based on what you have read, this is the critical thinking. So, the reader analyze and make a judgment based on the action, about the behavior of the characters, or the twist of the events. What is creative level? It's required that reader's involvement with the information presented as he used it to formulate or rethink ideas in his own. Question at this level might consist the open-ended, which required the readers to include his own knowledge, view, and value. So, creative level, where the reader creates a new or better idea based on his or her understanding of the text.